Some 20 years ago, Nintendo, Sega or the first Sony PlayStation games seemed like a figment of sci-fi imagination. Today's video games have advanced tremendously and replaced reality.
Oh, where I am!
Game streams gain dozens of millions of views on Twitch and YouTube and draw an audience of dozens of thousands to stadiums. 2021 saw the industry earn $336 billion, outperforming music, film and television combined. Today we are showing you the secret places where the main gaming novelties are invented.
So it's going to be something really private.
We are going to find out whether the gaming industry is really dying or it is at the beginning of its journey here in the Middle East.
We are partners with PlayStation, Microsoft, Nintendo Switch, Pixoul, which is the Chinese headset that's taken over the entirety of China.
And finally, we'll discover the world of new technologies for you.
It's not for everyone.
Yeah.
It's a stressful job.
Today we chose a nice subject for you. It's gaming. You know how much money, how much value this business is creating? $200 billion in this annually, in this industry. And we are going to interview many people, Abu Dhabi, the government, Abu Dhabi Gaming Center, how they support this mission of gaming.
Thanks to such breakthroughs, there are more and more centers in the world where you can experience all the gaming industry novelties. You'll learn it firsthand from the top manager at Pixoul Gaming, who is going to show us around.
Welcome to Pixoul Gaming. We didn't spell the name wrong. It's purposely spelled with IUL. The reason we called it Pixoul is we wanted a name that could be trademarked, number one.
Okay.
And number two, we wanted a name that represented our lore, that represented our concept, and basically we wanted to mix technology, something, binary, and something intangible like the soul. So we came up with a new word called Pixoul Gaming.
Okay.
Now, Pixoul Gaming is the first of its kind. It's consistent of 4 halls, and each of these halls are special or innovative in their own field.
Okay.
The first hall being the hall that you're in right now is the first ever open world cross-platform VR simulation. I know it seems like a complicated word. It means that all the different types of simulators, are all connected to one virtual world.
Hi guys, we are trying this one for the first time. It's going to be nice?
Yes, sir. So here, you can see some clips of our virtual world. This is post-apocalyptic space. Yeah, they founded a planet. This planet, they've used a energy source called Pixoul, which is a bracelet that you use and consume the energy from your soul. And then you have to go on, as I mentioned, a series of missions and able to bring the soul back to Pixoul, and that's the whole purpose of the game.
Yeah.
And this is one of the biggest virtual reality park in the Middle East.
Middle East?
Yeah.
Not only Abu Dhabi?
No, just in the Middle East.
Okay.
Because we have most of the games are wireless, and some games are wired, and this is one of the best in the area as a whole.
Okay. So this one up, this one forward, this one down right, this one left.
Yeah.
So guys, this bottom, I'm going up. Just I will go to virtual reality. This one, I'll move forward. If I put this one down, I go right. If I press this one down, I go left. And I have to avoid the bombs. I'm going to make it until the end.
We have all our gamers here. They come to free the planet from the bad guys, and they will enjoy doing games, and they have Nobel mission at the end.
Okay.
We connect people with this new technology because in the near future, 2030, it's gonna be like everything through the VR. They will travel through the VR. They will be educated through the VR. So we connect people with this kind of technology as well.
Oh, where I am? Oh, for left. Oh.
All our machines are provided with the lead technology, which giving you the sense that you are in a space, and also the you can see each other inside the game. You can have fun.
It's like a real man. I don't feel good. Thank you so much. I don't feel good, huh? Because it's moving, coming up, down. It's really nice. Guys, I have to take time to move now, to walk, because it's different.
It is not only VR technologies that bring huge money. After all, mobile games are even more popular. And here are some statistics. 5,300,000,000 people use mobile phones. There are games in 80% of them. And 50% mobile phone users are willing to pay for additional bonuses in mobile games. And if at least each of them spends $1 a month, the profit will be more than 2 billion. Isn't it impressive?
So this year, for example, for mobile games, it's not been a good year. A lot of startups actually struggled to raise money. The valuations haven't been so good. So the market hasn't been good. So it will depend. But you know, if a game is earning $2-3 million per month, that's $100 million business.
It's true. Yeah, it's a lot of money here, and nobody, like few people here, know about this industry actually.
Actually, you know, the UAE for 2022, according to Data AI report, the most recent one, I think the revenue from mobile games in UAE only has been $200 million or something like that. So people in the UAE actually play a lot and contribute.
Yes, and your customer, not all of them from UAE, or everyone can download your...
Of course, yeah.
Yes, that's really great.
Meet Boris, CEO of Hypermasters.
So, what do you do here in this place?
Well, we develop games.
Developing games. Okay, what kind of games?
So actually on the screen there, you see the poster from our only game that we have released last year. It's our first anniversary this week, actually. So the game has been live for 1 year already on iOS and Google Play. And later on this year, it's coming to PC as well.
Oh, so this one, the first project?
Well, we've had smaller projects before, but this is definitely the biggest one.
The biggest one.
Yeah, the one that took millions of dollars and years of development.
Okay. How many projects you delivered before, rather than this one?
Well, I would say we had like prototypes, small casual games, 3 or 4, before we, you know, actually found our calling. And our calling was to create a genre-defining real-time strategy game. This was the vision which my partner and I took on 2019. We pitched it to investors. We got our first funding, and since 2020 we've been developing this game solely. So all of our efforts, around like 45-50 people globally now, developing this one game.
You wonder what these 3 persons have in common? This question is easy to answer. They could work and earn millions absolutely anywhere in the world, and they choose Abu Dhabi. And their choice is the merit of his Emirates government.
Guys, we are still in the gaming industry. We made a lot of interviews, but this one is going to be a special, I promise you. You know why? Because we are meeting special people also. If you can introduce yourselves and what do you do here?
Hi, yes, my name is James. I work for Abu Dhabi government and run the programs Abu Dhabi government runs to grow the gaming industry, so AD Gaming.
AD Gaming, okay.
Hi, I'm Lalit Vaiz and I'm the founder and CEO of Nasser Esports. We're based here, one of the companies that are based here out of the Yas Creative Hub and supported by AD Gaming. And I've been in the gaming industry in the Middle East region for the last 25 years. Distribution, activations, agencies, etc.
So, James, do you think why the government of Abu Dhabi support gaming? Do you think, is it profitable or marketing?
Two reasons. Well, they can be put into 2 buckets, basically. The first one is economic reasons.
Okay.
Sorry to be boring, but it's like, well, it's job creation.
Okay.
And there's an economic reason for having creating these jobs here in Abu Dhabi, having these companies set up their headquarters here, having the next big game development businesses be successful from Abu Dhabi, because all the ingredients are here: the business environment, the education system, the infrastructure, everything's here. Now the companies are coming, which is great. So yeah, there's the economic reasons, which is also job generation reasons. You know, so like I said, it's making sure that for people that have a desire and a passion for the industry, they can fulfill their career goals in Abu Dhabi. So economic on the one hand. The other one is a cultural reason.
Okay.
Like why are there not enough stories told from this region through gaming?
Yeah.
Because there's a global audience for it. You know, this part of the world was the center of the world for thousands of years. So much culture and history here. And if you play a lot of games, then you'll see not every game has components of this but many do, especially the role-playing games, where you see stories from this region told to a global audience. So people can understand this region better, the culture of this region, the people of this region, what it's like to live now and in the past, through the medium of gaming. And it's, you know, it's not the be-all and end-all solution, but it's a part to play in exporting culture from this region, and a very important part given the size of the audience. I mean, the gaming industry is bigger than the music and TV industry put together. So yeah, over time, with more games being made here, you'll see more stories from this region, more IP from this region. We support, as AD Gaming, a lot of local studios, you know, Emirati studios and small and big, produce their content here. So that's really those are the two reasons. That was a long answer to a short question.
Yes, is it.
The top 10 best-selling video games in history have a combined annual income of $21 billion. Dozens of new games are coming up every day. And now we are going to introduce you to Ahmad, the CEO of the company that launched the first game to be approved by PlayStation 5 VR in the Middle East.
So we specialize right now in the year 2023 in virtual reality. So the years took us into learning many things, obviously, but the thing that I really fell in love with and decided to specialize in is virtual reality. Because I saw the potential, the unlimited potential to putting someone into a different world, a world that you created, and have them just go through that experience. I saw it as something so powerful, so beautiful. So that's what we specialize in. And at this point, we've finished approximately 20 VR projects delivered into the market, the internal market. And by internal market, I mean within the country and the region for clients. But we haven't released something fully international yet. And that's coming within like 1 or 2 months. So by the time this documentary is out, maybe the game is out. So go check it out.
The total cost of equipment in Ahmad's office reaches about $300,000. After all, only one chair here costs $22,000.
Chair right here is a very interesting piece of equipment because it's actually a flight and racing simulator chair developed by a company called Motion Reality in Poland. So we're developing a game called Asteroid Assault VR that's going to be coming after Box to the Beat. So as you know, a healthy business doesn't just rely on one egg. We have many eggs in many baskets. So we're developing this game called Asteroid Assault VR, where it works with a chair and without a chair, of course. There's no limitations. Where you ride in a spaceship, you go across space, you shoot meteors, they explode, and there's a story attached to it. It's a whole thing.
Every guest or hero in my videos, they are interested to promote their brand through social media. So I set up my studio in the heart of Dubai. Head Up Studio is designed for podcaster, YouTuber, photographer, videographer, singers, actors, anyone who creates a content. Everything you see around you is an exclusive studio. For high quality sound, for high quality videos, photos even. We have everything here for you to film a great quality. Cameras, 4K, latest equipments, lenses for different formats, sound system. Everything here, we made it possible for you. Even if you are considering the sound installation, you can find it in every room. If you want to use your creativity, come here in Head Up Studio in Dubai with the fully equipped rooms. Follow the below description to book your seat, and let's continue our episode.
Why did you choose Abu Dhabi to open your studio here?
That's actually a really interesting story because we were actually based in Dubai for a couple of years. Well, that's when we started officially, by the way, not the hybrid, I call it. That's where like we quit our jobs and we're like, Khusuf Studio, let's go. We opened in Dubai Production City, and things were kind of fine at the time, but I'm gonna be completely transparent and honest here. In Dubai is very friendly to businesses that are successful. Businesses that are building up towards success, you'll find it's quite difficult to find incentives and things that make you focus on the work, on the creativity. Rather than that, you're gonna focus on survivability. So when AD Gaming approached us in 2019, 2020, if I'm not wrong. So fun fact, we were actually the first partner to join Abu Dhabi Gaming. Yeah, so that's like something that's really interesting. It was like mid-COVID, things were complete shut down, and I get an email from AD Gaming that didn't exist at the time. A guy called Naji, shout out to Naji. I get an email from Naji, and he's saying like, we're thinking of starting this initiative. Are you interested? I'm like, you know what? What do I have to lose? I'm going there paying full expenses to operate in Dubai. Why not go for a different approach where there's someone I can speak to, support?
So Abu Dhabi supported you a lot.
In a one-liner, Abu Dhabi supported the game dev industry like I've never seen before, honestly speaking. And the proof to that is, again, this documentary, the concept of it, proves that something is happening. And mashallah, it's been 3 years since we started this partnership with them. And we were one studio when we joined. Now I believe there's 50.
50 in this building, in this place?
In this place, brought by AD Gaming Initiative. Can you imagine that? 50 studios within 3 years. That's a lot of studios. That's a lot of like, hey, you want to join?
It's true.
So yeah, that's a magnificent number. To go from literally no one to there's so many studios happening, there's so many talks, there's a lot of investments, a lot of people conversing about it. And that's just scratching the surface. I'm going to give you an example of how the game dev industry was many years ago. So when I started the studio in Dubai, I was getting maybe 2 to 3 calls a week from people saying, Khusuf Studio? I'd be like, yes. Can I take my passport photo in your studio? That was the game dev industry. People didn't understand what a studio is. And they think it's a photography studio where you take your passport picture. And I'm like, no, no. At a point, I started thinking like, you know what? Maybe we should provide that service. But of course we didn't, alhamdulillah. But that's where the industry was. It was non-existent. And it needed that hard push that, in my opinion, AD Gaming definitely provided.
ADM. It's supported in terms of marketing, in terms of cost, or
some things I cannot discuss, but in simple matters, in terms of getting you to be here, getting you to be comfortable, getting you to cover some of the costs that go along with running a bigger business. Of course, it's not a golden plate. It's not going to be like just exist here and everything's fine. You're going to have to put a lot from your side that is normal and healthy. And that actually weeds out the people who are going to be abusing the system. So that's why I'm all on board with making us work towards that support. So it's more of like a partnership. That's the best way to put it. You do your part, we do our part, and you exist in an easier environment than being stranded in the desert on your own.
Where do you come from, Boris?
So I was born in Russia. And I spent my first 10 years there. And then I lived in the UK for 21 years before moving here.
So why did you choose Abu Dhabi to come here? In UK, I believe it's popular, many companies, many customers, individuals like a new thing. So, but why did you choose Abu Dhabi to come to do your project here?
Well, actually, you're quite right. England is actually, or like the UK, because Scotland is also quite big in gaming, is actually an established market in gaming. And I think that's a blessing and a curse at the same time. Because I would say like it has traditional developers and some of the mobile developers. But it's already established. Here in the UAE, gaming was non-existent. 1 year ago, there were no companies. This building, I was walking around, literally 1 year ago, I was walking around seeing this building. Everything was still building. No offices were open. And now we're like 50 different gaming companies. And few of the biggest companies are, having offices in this building. So for me, this is an opportunity to be part of something totally new. Like, like establish myself as someone who is driving the Emirates gaming industry forward. And then I think that will it's already reaping the rewards of me having access to, the community here, the people like yourself, and representing Abu Dhabi on the greater gaming scene. I think it's fascinating. It's an adventure. And it's also an opportunity to bring all of my employees here because since 2022, when the war between Russia and Ukraine started, we had employees from Russia, from Ukraine, and we needed some middle ground where we would relocate a lot of our employees. This is now proving the base where all the peoples of the world can come freely and not experience anything with relating to their nationalities or something like that. So I really like the policies of Emirates in terms of, accepting everyone, not rejecting everyone. I think it's very smart, and that's what's definitely pushing Emirates ahead of everyone else, to be honest, in the last year.
Does this place support you a lot in terms of bringing many employees here, providing with the great facilities?
Yeah, I would say that, in terms of this free zone, Abu Dhabi Gaming in particular, as a company that supports gaming companies, they do help us a lot. So they subsidize the salaries of the people that we hire here. I would say it's still not. If you think about moving to Abu Dhabi, I think that's not the most important thing, though, because even though there's subsidy, you still have to bring in people, pay for insurance, so there's still costs involved. So I would say it's not so much about the subsidy, because subsidy also runs in the UK, in Canada. Many countries actually subsidize gaming. It's more about like this community just growing out of nowhere and having an opportunity to be at the forefront of this is something beautiful. But yeah, I think the support that the governments here and the government body like AD Gaming and 2454 are giving is marvelous. We have access to the best tools. So Unity Editor Pro licenses are available for us for free. And Unity has their representatives here. Hello to Kat and everyone working at Unity here. It's actually really, really amazing. And they're trying their best. They have a very small team here in Abu Dhabi Gaming, and they're trying to do their best to, give everyone offices, support everyone with the subsidy, help with all the questions, because, people are moving their lives. And it's quite intense for people, and I think they're doing the best. And to be honest, it gets better and better. Like initially, when first companies moved here, there were some companies from the UK that I know, I'm not going to name them, but they've experienced a lot of like delays and bureaucracy, but people here managed to adjust really quickly. So they fixed a lot of the processes quickly, and I think we got much better service than a few of the first companies here. So that's also the good thing about it, is that, they're open, people here are open to learning, and they're open to providing better service, and they're very humble. So it's not like, we're the best. It's like they're actually treating us as the royalty. It's like, please come here to develop your content, and it's going to be mutually beneficial.
When did you come here? 2019?
Oh no! So in Abu Dhabi, we moved here in October last year.
October last year.
Yeah.
So since you moved, this almost now 8 months or 7 months, something like that. And do you see the trend every month increasing the market in Abu Dhabi or something in gaming?
100%. So again, like when I moved, like when I was scouting for office here a year ago, there was nothing. Since then, I've had so many like colleagues and friends from all over the world, like other gaming founders, come here and look at what's happening, assess whether it's going to be a good location for their office. And many of them are opening or have open offices. For example, the recent one, My Games, it's a company that's worth, I would say it's worth more than $1 billion.
Okay.
It has many thousands of employees.
And here in this place.
And they have officially partnered up and have already moved some people, and some people are coming. And there are a lot more who are willing to come. So definitely since the time we've stepped foot on the soil, we've seen so many companies getting interest in this place. Now, I think they're having trouble and having enough offices for everyone who wants. So I think that's, there's going to be some supply issue. Demand is definitely there.
So if I want to ask James, like, I interviewed one person before. He said, I came here 6 months ago, 7 months ago, not too many companies here. Now it's increasing every month or every week. There is a new company. So how do you see gaming industry here in Abu Dhabi, especially?
Never been busier. It's so AD Gaming started about 3 years ago.
Okay.
With a question from the leadership is asking, why is the region so underrepresented in game development and esports? Why do people, students, when they graduate from a world-class education system here, why have they got to go abroad for a job if they want to work in the gaming industry? There's so much IP, so much history and culture from the region. Why is none of that told through gaming to a global audience from this region? And back then there was we've had one game studio here, Ubisoft. It's been here for about just over 10 years now, but really surrounded by no other studios. And there was no support for grassroots game developers. Local studios that are talented, that want to get games published and shipped, and then and want to make a successful business. So there was nothing here basically.
Okay.
So we went away as AD Gaming was launched as a comprehensive support program for game studios, for publishers, for esports businesses, to help them grow. And what we can look around the world at different other gaming hubs that have been successful. We can take the best bits from what they've done, and it's exactly what we've done. And we've put them now in Abu Dhabi. And with these support programs, in the space, well, we started off in COVID, which was tough because no one wanted to move. So really all the companies, all the game developers and esports organizations have moved here in the last 18 months. So we've now got over 50 game development studios and esports organizations in Abu Dhabi. It's the largest community of gaming companies anywhere in the region in one place, all working in this building in Yas. So yeah, it's really busy. We do, I'll give you just a little overview of what we do as AD Gaming so you can see the areas we work in. I'd say a third of our time is in talent development.
Okay.
We're sitting now in the Unity training room. So Unity was one of the first companies to move to Abu Dhabi under our support. And they put their headquarters for the Middle East and Africa here. They now are training professors in 13 universities across UAE to teach students the skills they need to succeed to get them into the gaming industry. How to use the Unity engine, to get more Unity certified engineers inside our pool of graduates that graduate from the education system. So about a third of our time is in training and talent development.
Okay.
And then AD Gaming is the bridge. The bridge is the education system with industry.
Okay.
So we want to get this talent out of the education system into industry. So obviously you need jobs here to do that. You need the companies here. So the other third of our time is spent, bringing in companies into Abu Dhabi, but also helping the local studios that are already here improve the quality of their games. Okay. So Unity works with all of the local studios here, and so does the team from Unreal as well, to improve the quality of their games, giving them the technical support they need, the business support they need to succeed. So part of it is in, like I said, a third in talent development. A third of our time is spent with the companies here, and the other third is in esports, which brilliantly we've got NASA here to talk more about the esports landscape here. and Lalit runs Nasser Esports, one of the teams we have here. So AD Gaming really is supporting the esports industry, running events, supporting the teams here on the ground, from community level activations all the way through to our flagship stadium filling esports event taking place this December in the Etihad Arena, the CSGO World Finals.
So why did you choose Abu Dhabi especially? There are many countries in Middle East, many cities in United Arab Emirates.
Correct. Now, as they say, fortune favors the bold. So I came to Abu Dhabi, and it was. Some people can say it's a ghost town. Some people could say it's not as active as Dubai. But I do believe that it's that way for a reason, for a strategic reason.
Okay.
Abu Dhabi's always been long term.
Yeah.
And when I landed in Abu Dhabi, first of all, geographically, like the topography of Abu Dhabi is much different to Dubai. It's huge. It's like 10, 20 times bigger than Dubai.
Yeah.
Now, the way I looked at it was, first of all, you have to follow trends of Abu Dhabi. When they bought Manchester City, everyone said, Manchester City, what are you doing? Look at them on an interval of 10, 15 years. They just won the Champions League for the first time after all of this. They bought the club at 200-something million pounds. Now it's worth above 2-3 billion pounds. So they're very strategic. They're very long-term. And when I saw what they were doing in gaming, AD Gaming, the initiative of 2454 and AD Gaming from His Excellency Muhammad Mubarak, I said, this is a winner. This is not a hit and run. This is not, look at us, we're going to buy this or that or whatever. We're building something for the generations to come. And I said, for me, this is the place I want to be, because Dubai is a touristic attraction. We didn't want to be a touristic attraction. We wanted to open this facility for the community, for the locals, and for the people visiting and expats from abroad that want to set up shop because they believe in the future of Abu Dhabi.
So the government of Abu Dhabi Gaming supported you to do this initiative, right?
Of course, they've always been supportive. Now, when it comes to support, their strategy with support is, of course, networking, subsidization. We, of course, took the initial risk, and that risk was 4 years ago. We said we want to invest over 100 million dirhams in Abu Dhabi, and that's exactly what we did. When they saw us building this, of course, they were super supportive. They asked us to reallocate our offices in Yas Creative Hub to 454. Yeah, so the relationship was built during the construction period, not prior to the construction period, but they were always helpful. They introduced us to a lot of people which did the events here in Pixoul Gaming. They gave us a subsidization program, which was very helpful for us. We ended up reallocating our headquarters to Abu Dhabi. So now we work very close with AD Gaming. We are a part of AD Gaming, and the relationship was built in Abu Dhabi, not prior to Abu Dhabi, which I think is very special and organic, because a lot of people, they build the relationship before, thinking that if I come to Abu Dhabi, I'm going to come asking for something, and the only reason I'm going to come is because I know someone. And we didn't come because we knew someone. We came because we believed in Abu Dhabi, and we spent and invested our money in Abu Dhabi without knowing anyone. So subhanallah, you meet the right people, and here we are now.
So the esports, that I want to more dig deep in esports. It's about technology, platform, gaming, and the mobile, or virtual reality. What's the esport?
It's everything. So simply esports is professional players competing on any game. It could be a mobile game, a PC game, a console game, a VR game, a AR game, anything. So long as they're competing professionally for a prize pool in a big tournament, that's esports. So it covers everything. Here you have the Blast World Finals that happened last December and happened again. Of course, that's a World Finals, so you have 8 to 16 of the top teams in the world that play all year to qualify. They come here, then they have knockouts, and then you have somebody win the World Finals. I think last year the prize pool was $1 million. So that's kind of the biggest level. And then you have smaller tournaments that happen all year around across the region and globally in different sports, whether it's mobile, PC, console, all of them.
So what's kind of, I can't see, for me, I'm not too much in gaming actually, but I see many people asking gaming, FIFA, I can play with the other person there. I can win many money from that. So how do you prepare, and how the people know about esports?
Sure. So Nasser Esports is a team, we're an organization, like a football team. Yeah. We have 50 players in various different games. So FIFA, Call of Duty, CSGO, Valorant, etc. The games are each owned by a publisher. So FIFA is from Electronic Arts, CSGO is from Valve, League of Legends is from Riot. They each have their global tournaments and regional tournaments that qualify. So they're the ones who promote it. And then governments, companies, and teams like us all play in those leagues and tournaments, support them to make them bigger. So for, let's say, a player who wants to become professional, they would find a team like Nasser. We would then support them with training, with coaching, pay for their travel to go to tournaments, for the equipment they use, and building their brand with, interviews and deals with brands, etc., etc.
From government's point of view, it's also about making sure there's opportunities.
Okay.
So only the elite are going to be professional. Just in any sport, it's not, the top 0.1% of them are going to be professional esports athletes. But sitting behind, just as you would any professional football team, there's a whole host of different jobs and skill sets you need to support the professional team, from content creation, analytics, broadcast, you name it. There's a wealth of skilled professionals that work in Nasser Esports to support the pro teams, and these are jobs that by having the pro teams here, you create in Abu Dhabi, and it's also the reasons why the government gets involved and tries to support the pro teams is because in this region, again, just as it is in game development, must be underrepresented in esports in terms of the competition level that's needed to have more professional teams here competing at the very pinnacle of esports on a global scene. And that's something that is changing right in front of our eyes now. I mean, I've seen it.
We've got Tekken Master from Bahrain, who's like the number 2 in the world in Model Combat, but he's been with us for 6 years and we've built his career. You have Adil and Amjad, who both live, and since they were children, they've been in Abu Dhabi, both went to school and university here. One of them is now number 5 in the world in Street Fighter, one of them is number 10. So again, they've been with us for 6 years. So now, of course, we were doing it by ourselves. With the government coming in, you can, let's say, provide that to far more people and find talent quicker and develop it.
And also entertain people that like to watch it. So we do Nasser's regular community street fighting events, and they're really cool. But it's the first time that the community here has had the opportunity to see the pros play. And we were at MEFCC Comic-Con in Abu Dhabi in March. And we had some of the pro esports athletes from Nasser Esports and from Team Nigma, who are headquartered here. Going on stage, you can beat the pro, or it's just getting involved in the community. And so right the way from a community level all the way through to professional, this is what's changing very fast in Abu Dhabi. And it's wonderful to see,
Yeah. Just let's talk about the figure. To create a game,
yes,
how much does it cost you?
Investment-wise, it can really range up. Like I always say that example based on my background.
Okay.
If I ask you right now as an engineer, how much does it cost to build a building? The answer is simply, how many floors? What's the finishing? Where's the location? What's the season? Not to deflect from your question, but there are so many variables that go into it. But just to give a very rough answer, it can go from, I would say, a minimum of 50,000 dirhams up until millions.
50 to 1 million.
2 millions.
2 millions.
No, millions.
Millions.
Many millions.
No, yeah.
To give you approximate, there's a very, very successful VR game that was created by Steam, Valve themselves. It was called Half-Life Alyx. I believe that the development cost for that was $54 million. For example, a single VR game. But of course, our games haven't reached that extent yet. So in our range, the development of the game could take approximately 1 year, 1.5 years. And if you roughen up the numbers, that could come out to be maybe perhaps 1 million dirhams, if not more.
Okay.
And that's being extremely conservative. And why am I being extremely conservative? Because again, right now my studio is going through a very dynamic change from taking clients and delivering projects and getting them done into launching our games into the international market. So the build up to that stage did cost me a lot, because right now we are partners with PlayStation, Microsoft, Nintendo Switch, Pico, which is the Chinese headset that's taken over the entirety of China. We're development partners with the Quest, who's taking over the United States and the Middle East. And I lost count at this point, honestly. Because I went on a mission to make the studio development partners with all of these companies. Why? Because when we are development partners with them, we can grab our game and place it in their platform that sells the game.
Okay. And this one is the new project you have.
Yeah.
How
Absolutely.
many years you have been developing this game?
Sorry, how many years?
How many years?
I would say we initially had a small team of like 5 people in 2020, like June 2020. Then the team grew to 40 people, and it took 2 years to release the game, but it was really bare bones. It had all the essential mechanics, and we really wanted to see how players around the world interact with the game. And now I would say in total, we've been developing the game for 3 years. And it's been a long journey where it went from looking like a strategy from early 2000s to something that looks really modern, polished, AAA.
Is it ready now for the people?
Yeah, absolutely. You can play it on your phone.
On your phone?
Yeah.
And Google Play,
Apple.
You can play it. Okay. So it's different from other people where we visited. They do virtual reality, right?
Yeah.
What kind of game this one?
Well, this is. Can I show you?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. We're gonna provide some footage for later on. What the game looks like, but I'll show it to you for now. So this game is literally a strategy where you control your army at your fingertips. So if you just type in World War Armies, you'll be able to see this is. And the gameplay is like you literally control your army.
Okay. So is this one you played with many people?
It's right now it's either one versus one, so I can play against you, or 2 versus 2. So for example, my wife and I, every evening we sit down and play against other people in the world.
Okay, that's really amazing. And you told me you spent a lot of money on this. How much did you spend? Like in 3 years, a lot of work. Of course, there is something behind this one.
Yeah, for sure. I would say that, apart from marketing, we've spent somewhere around $3 to $4 million on
$3 million in developing this game.
Yeah, 3 to 4 million. And it's not that much, actually.
Really? Yeah.
If you think about how much modern game development takes in terms of resourcing, blockbuster games like Death Stranding, they take hundreds of millions of dollars. And a team of like 100, 200, 300 people.
Wow.
So actually, I would say that we've managed to keep it quite low cost. And the beauty of our game is that it's free to play, so it's a live service. So anyone can download it, and we constantly develop it. So literally, the more you play, the better the game gets.
It's true. And so how do you get profit from this if it's free?
Actually, we have a lot of players who pay thousands of dollars when they play. So obviously the game is free. So you start by, let's say, having 5 troops. You have your infantry, your tank, and then, for example, we have 70 more units in the game, and you want to unlock them. Sure, you can play for free and unlock with time. But if you really want to get the access to the content faster, you pay. So, and we provide you with many opportunities to do that. We throw in like offers, special sales. So like a normal shop. On a high street. So, right now we have our anniversary, so we have a lot of sales going on. So people go in and can unlock a lot of content for a cheaper price. And that's how we earn money. And every month we add new content, so we add new units.
Update or something like that.
Yeah, so for example, for the anniversary, we've added a paratrooper. So you can order him to land anywhere on the map, and he would take his parachute and go into the map and, take part of the action.
Okay. How many downloads you have?
So I think we've got something like 3 million downloads.
3 million?
Yeah, it's not that much. For mobile games, I would say it's not that much, but it's still. I'm really proud of the achievement because a lot of people in the industry, they thought that the genre of real-time strategy is dead, and we're literally the living proof that it's not dead.
Yeah, it's true.
So this is where all the magic happens usually.
Yeah. What is this? The hall for what?
This is an event hall, multi-purpose event hall.
Event?
Yeah, so we have a lot of gaming events that happen here. So 6 out of the 7 top gaming events in the region happen here. Valorant, Arabian Cup, League of Legends, Arabian Cup, FIFA Pro League, Mobile Legends,
all of them here?
All of them here. So this is a very active space.
Okay.
It's a plug-and-play solution. This does not exist in the region. What do I mean by plug-and-play solution? So small and medium businesses, usually it's very difficult for them to rent or promote their product because it's so expensive logistically to make an event. So we made an event space, LED screens, lighting, acoustic panels, sound system, truss systems, floating stadium that can accompany 300 people, 500 on the bottom, commentation, and then media and influencers on the top.
Wow.
Yeah, and all of this is only, it'll only cost you 40,000 dirhams. So it's very relatively cheap per day, correct?
Yeah.
And it's very affordable for people who want to launch their product.
True.
And we just wanted to give back to the environment. We wanted to focus on micro events, not macro events. You do need the macro events. You do need the big IPs.
Yes, sir.
But the micro events will keep the community going. And every week we have an event here. Sometimes 2-3 times a week we have events here. And it's been fantastic to host these events.
Yeah, I want to. How did you come with this idea? Like in Abu Dhabi, especially. Why it's Abu Dhabi?
Opportunity. I met the developer. He was a very ambitious person, as was I, and he wanted to build something new in gaming. I wanted to build something new in gaming. We had already worked with Hasbro's Transformers, Discovery Channel, Warner. We worked with all these big names already. We had been building simulations and VR content. This opportunity came about. We wanted to expand our offerings, and before you know it, 4 years later of hard work, we built this, And
So you built this one, you opened this one before 4 years?
4 years ago. No, I started building this 4 years ago.
Okay.
We opened exactly 6 months ago.
6 months ago?
Yeah.
And how is it going?
Fantastic. Business is growing. Events, as I mentioned, 6 out of the top 7 that happened in the region happened here in Pixoul. So yeah, we're happy. We're happy.
It's a lot of money spent here, right?
Oh, very much, very much. A lot of risks.
A lot of
a lot of rewards.
Yeah.
It comes with the territory.
And if you can say the figure, how much did you pay for?
It's over 100 million dirhams.
100 million.
100 million dirhams. We hope to see it back soon.
Yeah, that's really great because it's a new thing. It's one of the largest, biggest video gaming place in Middle East, right?
Correct. It is the largest and the first of its kind. As you can see also behind you, we have an academy. On the back, we have a restaurant. We have an FMB facility. So it's bigger than it looks. It's 3 floors.
3 floors?
Yeah, so that's the 3rd floor, the one you see up there.
So what is the advantage of this business, do you think? Advantage and disadvantage?
The advantage of this type of business model
not for you, for the customer or for the people who are using the games or...
when it comes to for example, using the product.
Yeah.
So for example, Box to the Beat VR, the advantage that the pros that they get is that they get an exercise, they get mental stimulation in a way that activates their learning behavior, and they get a healthy habit.
Okay.
Simple as that. But one interesting prospect is, what is the advantage of this business model? The advantage is that exponential growth is manageable, is affordable. Because in the end of the day, you make that one game, make it adaptable to all the stores, and just get it out there. Just get it out there. You've got millions of customers just waiting for something.
Okay.
So exponential growth. It's not like a restaurant where I have a capacity of selling 100 sandwiches a day. If the game succeeds, I can sell 1 million copies.
Okay.
I have no problem. It's not physical. I'm not selling them even a CD anymore. Like that there's not really requirement. The game is the digital copy, the code, the program is on the store, and whoever buys it just clicks buy. It goes to them.
Yeah.
I don't have to take care of the logistics because they don't exist. That's one major advantage in this kind of type of business industry. The disadvantage right now, in my opinion, is the lack of knowledge in publishing that type of stuff.
Okay.
And that's why, like, you'd be surprised that Box to the Beat VR, as far as I know, it is the first game in the entire Middle East to reach the PlayStation 5 VR2 store. That didn't happen before. And it's been launched for maybe 4 or 5 months. So that tells you something. There's a lack of experience currently in the region that definitely needs to be fulfilled. And that comes with a tax. The tax is you need to do it yourself, you need to learn on your own. And trust me, it's a headache. Like when I open the PlayStation 5 DevNet and understand like how to put our game out there, it's not as simple as like, here's the game, bye-bye. No. There's like, I swear, man, I graduated civil engineering and this is more complicated. I have to read through like hundreds of pages of documentation to understand what they want.
Okay.
So it is a very complex, tedious process to get your product out there. But once you do it, then you open the gate to all the developers to say, like, that's one of the plans for the future, inshallah, of course, if we succeed, is to open the door for other developers in the region that cannot afford to spend 3 years to understand this process and be like, listen, if you have a product in mind that you have developed and you're ready to put it into the market, contact us and let us help you out as your publisher. Right now, as far as I know, I have to say this, there are almost none. There are no publishers for the console and virtual reality markets in the UAE at least.
Okay.
Not zero. So if someone has a product, they can't get it out there. They have to do it themselves. And that takes them away from the creativity. That takes them away from taking care of their product. They have to take care of so many things. Right now, I can afford to do that. Because alhamdulillah, we've grown to a certain point where I can do that. Because alhamdulillah, we have people working, we have experience and all that sort of stuff. But a lot of developers don't. So right now, step one, Box to the Beat VR, inshallah it succeeds.
Inshallah.
Inshallah, the second game succeeds. And if those two succeed, then we would have enough funds to expand into a publishing house. And that will uplift the industry tremendously.
Do you think if the virtual reality boxing you are working on it, if succeed, how much can bring you to expand?
Like, put it into numbers. The game right now is going to be sold for $19.99, $20
okay.
to be exact, across 7 stores on the globe. You got the Pico that covers China. You got Quest that covers the United States and across the Middle East and Europe. You got PlayStation. You got HTC Vive. I lost count. You got multiple stores. For the game, wait, I've got one of those fancy calculators. Well, not fancy, but classic, let's call it. Okay, so the game, let's say it sells for $19.99.
Okay.
If it sells, let's say 50,000 copies, which is a very realistic number. 50,000 copies. That equals to, dirhams or dollars?
Dollars.
Dollars, okay. So that equals to $999,000.
900.
Approximately $1 million.
1 million, more than 3 million dirham, guys.
By 3.7, that's 3.6 million dirhams approximately.
So if you don't know about the gaming, you have to listen to this because there is a lot of money on this, and this guy is going to provide you everything you need about the gaming, the questioning, everything.
Is it profitable industry, right? I interviewed many people, they said, for one game maybe can be cost $1 billion or to $10 million.
Sure.
So
it's an extremely profitable business, gaming. Right? Sectors of it depends on their life cycles, where they are. So esports is right at the beginning, so it's tough to be profitable, but you're building a brand like Manchester City. So one day, if you have enough fans and esports will be the biggest, most watched sport in the world, you're building that value. But if you look at a company like Tencent that makes video games, they're making profits of 4 or 5 billion a year, right? or Electronic Arts, or Ubisoft. So it's a very profitable business, but downstream, there's still many verticals that have to still grow much more. But that's why I'm in the business. It's not about profit today. It's about, hey, how can you build something profitable over time that has real value, right? But there's a lot of money in it. Lot of money.
Yes, I can see. So, how is? I want to know more about Abu Dhabi, like about what the I want to know the figures. So, if gaming industry is profitable and many people can do it, do you support your national to have the talent? Because most of them, they said, okay, I want to work in big company. I don't want to do my own self, like gaming. And now the new generation, when you see the YouTube, they are making a lot of money also from
one is
teaching gaming.
One is content creation.
Yes.
Yeah. But if you looked at just game development, so the success stories you see from Abu Dhabi. I mean, I think one that jumps to my immediately with Pixoul, for example. Emirati founded game studio. That they were working part-time on their game in the evenings, weekends.
Okay.
You could see they're talented.
Okay.
Helps them with AD gaming, with the support, especially from Unity, looking at the right down to like the technical architecture of the game and the sort of the code asset performance reviews we did of the game, supporting them as government. They're going to be releasing their first game in Gamescom in August in Cologne, and now they're full-time professional game development studio.
Wow!
But it's stories, it's examples like that, and there's many of them where the government support will enable that talent to do what they really want to do and what they're passionate about doing. But it's hard when you're not surrounded by anyone doing any game development, because then you're on your own. I mean, it's so what we do as AD Gaming is have so many different community events.
Yeah,
and these are business to business events that are not there for the general public. These are here for the gaming studios here. So we run our Unity Developer Day, and we did it this year in April. All the game development studios come down.
Yeah.
Unity they flew in 20 experts, like the top level experts of how to use the Unity game engine, come in, and then they give workshops and coaching seminars and tutorials to the game development community, again, just to raise the standards of the game development here.
Yeah.
But it's examples like that then enables these grassroots studios to have a far better chance of successfully shipping their first game, because you talk about the gaming industry being profitable as a whole, but it's tough at the bottom. So many games are made.
Not easy.
So just, and it's not only making the game, but it's also publishing the game. And then it's also financing the distribution of the game. So yes, it's as tough as any business, and in the creative industry is very tough. But what you will find in the creative industries is because the industry professionals are passionate about it, they persevere. And it takes a lot of perseverance, a lot of trial and error. But, with that perseverance, coupled with talent, support structures around them, the chances of succeeding are way higher in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
Is it risky industry?
Depends. No one loses their lives. So in that sense, it's not a risky industry. So literally, I would say it's very comfortable industry to have a job. If you want to start a company, I would say that it is really risky, simply because for a good product, it can take years to develop.
Okay.
And when you release it, it might not be in demand because it's a piece of art. You never know whether your piece of art will be popular or not.
True.
So you can spend like years painting and then show everyone, here's my painting. And no one is like, oh, we don't care. So millions of dollars do go down the drain a lot of the time. In that sense, it's a risky industry. But on the other hand, the more time you spend developing and, learning from your mistakes, the higher chances of success you get. So that's why, for example, a lot of VC firms prefer to invest in people not like me who have non-gaming background, but in ex-founders or like producers or game designers. So of course they try to reduce the risk of their investment going wrong. So again, like if you do want to have a business in gaming, I think it's great to start from working for a gaming studio, learning everything about the production cycle, you know, how long and why something takes that long. And then, you know, if you have the desire, I think you can open a business. But at the same time, I do also think that it's not for everyone. It's a stressful job being an entrepreneur in gaming. You have to look like any entrepreneur, have to look 1,000 directions at the same time.
It's true.
And you know, the idea of running a game studio, you would think that you play a lot of games, you talk a lot. That's what you do. You play a little bit if you're an executive. But I guess it's like everywhere. If you're an executive, you have responsibility to your family, to your employees, to your players, to your investors, to everyone. So you have to cater for that.
Ahmed, what do you want, like, where do you see your studio in 5 years? What do you want to expand? What do you want to reach? What is your milestone?
Right now, honestly speaking, like to summarize it, I really wish to see my studio, inshallah, going through this path of developing and publishing our own content, which we're this close. We're literally this close. Like, it doesn't need 5 years. We need 2 months. 2 months. 2 months and we are out. That's it. That's our schedule of launch. So to develop and publish our content in-house, and inshallah turn the studio also into a publishing house that takes in projects from developers here and pushes them into the international market. Because if there's a problem that I'm trying to solve right now is that the lack of our presence in the Middle East in the international market when it comes to game development.
What is the international market? Which of the countries are more focusing in the gaming or virtual reality? Or
number one is the United States. Number two is China.
United States and China.
Yes, these two massive continents, well, not continents, but you get my point. Massive countries, that's where the real market is. Of course, not undermining the other regions, but to elaborate on that question, the problem, where we need to be is not really in a geographical location. We need to be in a store. The presence of the Middle East developers need to be in these international stores that provide this content. When our kids go to the PlayStation store and look for games, they don't find any Middle Eastern developed games. And that's a problem that needs to be resolved. So for us to uplift the next generation of developers, of game designers, graphic designers, everyone who wants to go and get into this industry, and a lot of people are recently getting into it, we need to provide success cases that have yet to exist, in my opinion. We provide these success cases, and you will notice that there's going to be a massive uprising of this industry, just coming from the simple thinking of a teenager person. When you ask them, what do you want to be in the future? They're like, I want to be a game designer. I want to be a programmer. I want to be a technological back-end, God knows what. Even I don't know those roles.
So do you need certificate to do this, what you are doing? No?
No.
Just experience?
Experience, portfolio.
And passion.
Passion for it. You know, the ability to listen, the ability to chase after it. In my opinion, and again, it differs from company to company, but I've had interns that survived 2 days on the far end of the spectrum, and I've had interns who are still working until now, full-time employees for approximately 3 years. So like you see, it just really depends on the person and their willingness to learn and understand new things. So it just depends on the person. If you graduated from Harvard, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter that much. It shows that you have committed, you have paid a lot of money for your education. But if you look at Google right now, they don't care, man. Go through the courses, show us that you're experienced, and most likely you're in. Of course, through a very intensive interview and phase. But the principle is the same. Right now, in tech industry, things are moving too fast. That if someone learned something 5 years ago, that's redundant. What you learned last week matters more. So it's just build up.
Abu Dhabi Gaming, what is the plan, or what is the goal you want to achieve in 5 years? How many companies you want to bring here, or what's the milestone you want to achieve actually?
Well, there was one on Esports. We said, you know, are you happy at AD Gaming now? You've run a stadium-filling esports event. And I said, no, because the game wasn't made in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
So I suppose that could be one. It would be to make sure that there's no local studios that go unsupported. To make sure that as a vision that anyone with a passion, a desire to get into the gaming industry has the opportunities to do so in Abu Dhabi. I'm not going to put like this specific on number of companies because there is no ceiling.
Okay.
Abu Dhabi will be is already a global player in now the game development scene, and after such a short period of time. So I don't think there's any upper limit to where it can go. And gaming technology this is what people also, sometimes don't really understand or don't see. It's the skill sets needed in the gaming industry are incredibly diverse. So at its core of a game studio, you might have coding and artistry for the game. You've got game publishing, game analytics, game economy. You've got all the data management skills that you need inside a game development studio. Game studios now, a lot of the game studios here are putting their games on the chain using blockchain technology that underpins the tech behind the game. And with the onset of AI, that's going to transform the game development industry. So you're going to be playing role-playing games, and every time you play, it'll be different. All your surroundings, your interactions with other characters in the game are all going to be AI-driven. No two versions of that game you play are going to be the same. Every time you play it, it's going to be different. And so with AI and machine learning being going to disrupt the gaming industry, along with the tech that sits behind it, just think of the diverse skill sets that you need as a game development studio. And these roles are also transferable. So it's these roles that are pan-industry with AI and blockchain and the coding skills that you need. So it's an incredibly future-proofed industry in that respect. And you'll have people that start their careers in the gaming industry, but might not end them in the gaming industry. But the skills they use, they'll stay with them for the rest of their lives because these aren't ones that are going to be replaced.
So what's your goal in 5 years? Do you figure, for example, how many downloads you want? How many, like you mentioned, about 2 million to 3 million every month. What's your vision or your milestone in 5 years from now?
I would say that our major goal is to have 3 games in the RTS genre that are absolutely dominating the market by downloads, by revenue, by everything. We want to be the market makers in our particular space. When I was, I would say before last year, I had this, not illusions, but I had this thoughts that maybe we should develop some other genres. But we've developed such efficiencies by developing this game. I feel like we need to really provide this type of game for other users. For example, we're thinking about the game where this one in particular is about World War II. But a lot of countries weren't really participant in World War II or had nothing to do. For example, the UAE, nothing to do about World War II. But at the same time, the actual mechanics can be interesting. So we want to create a game that would have a wider setting. So for example, it would have a great Arab civilization where you would be able to play as, like, for example, medieval Arabic nations or, the great empires of China and Japan. So we want to create a game that's has more appeal towards wider audiences. So I think that's the direction we'll go to from now on. So this is a great game. We want to create more of those that would appeal to even wider audiences.
And for you, Karim, what do you want? What do you want, or Pixoul wants to achieve in 5 years? What is the figure, numbers, milestones?
Numbers and milestones, I'll leave that to our finance guys and operations guys. I mean, they got a lot of KPIs and objectives they want to meet. But what I personally want to see is I want to see a young entrepreneur, someone who, born and bred here locally, that has a dream, that's maybe been building a game on his laptop or PC for the past 5-6 years. Everyone was laughing at him. Everyone told him he can't do it.
True.
And I want him to throw an event here. And I want him, and I want the people of Abu Dhabi and Arabs to see that, listen, against all odds, you can do anything you want. You can make your dreams happen. And just believe in yourself. You know, the government, the region is creating that ecosystem for you. You just have to believe in yourself. And it's facilities like this that will show you that, listen, we'll put our money where our mouth is. We'll take the risk. You know, it's not easy. When I signed this facility, I didn't have 100,000 dirhams to my name, you know. Yeah, but how did I come up with 100 million? Don't ask me. I still don't know. but it was all made in retrospect to tell any of these kids that, listen, chase your dream, come showcase it here, you know, build a community, meet people. It's not everything supposed to be online, you know. You can still be part of the modern world with actually physically coming, you know, and interacting, socially interacting and meeting people. And this is why this event hall and all these games and academy and PC network were made.
Guys, you know, we made a lot of interviews about gaming in Abu Dhabi, how the government support, how ADM support the gaming industry here in Abu Dhabi. Thank you for watching. And if you like it, subscribe, write a comment about anything, gaming, anything, and we'll be there to answer you. I see you.
Guys, you haven't joined our contents until now. The giveaway will end by 1st of August. A prize worth more than $10,000. So all you need, go to the right screen and you will check the requirements to enter in this contest. I wish everyone a good luck and let the strongest win.